I'm Joshua, and I'm an INTP, and first and foremost, I'd like to say thank you for viewing this video, and subsequently visiting my channel. The topic of this video is going to be on the future of my channel, and let's go ahead and get into this discussion. And the only thing I really want to say is that what's going to happen with my channel is it's really just going to be, it's going to continue. I am going to continue to create content. What that content will be influenced by people's requests, of course, but mostly by just what I find interesting at any particular time and moment. And my channel may evolve several times over and become something different throughout the months and throughout the year, and so on and so forth. And it's not going to have any particular or specific form, because why would I do that when I have no real purpose or point for being on here other than it being somewhat of a creative exercise or just an intellectual exercise for me to get my ideas out of my head and into some living incarnate imperfect casting that may be necessary for me to develop them further. So just in my own self-serving purposes, when I get on YouTube, I'm really just tossing out ideas and constructing them and seeing how fruitful they would be to develop further. And in the interest of the audience, I'm throwing out the best of my ideas, or the least dangerous of my ideas. And so this is something I wanted to say in this video as well. I have many freaking ideas about a lot of things, and there are many things I think about many things in this world, and can I say many again? But the reason I'm saying that is just to indicate that most of what I tend to speak about and that philosophical tread I tend to trek is what I consider more of the presentable, safe things that I think. Even though they are contrarian, or they're an exposition on things that may not be well understood, but there's a substantial amount of scientific data or literature on the things, those things are pretty much not too far, even if they're original or they're not original. They're not too far from a certain mode of thought or accepted thought, which is just countercultural. Just contrarian countercultural thought. However, I have thought that is much more than countercultural contrarian, in the sense that they would be thoughts that would make people probably severely angry if the wrong person views them. And so I don't put those kinds of ideas out on YouTube because, well, there are a lot of people on YouTube, and two, I'm afraid that if I ever pursue some employment of any kind, that people are going to, because one thing that's very strange is that you go for an interview and they know everything except for what you ate that morning for breakfast, which they may ask you in the interview, or what route you took to get there, or they may be able to find that out, I don't know. But they certainly know where you live, what you've done for all of your college, high school, and middle school, and elementary school career, and what hobbies you tend to occupy in your spare time, and so on and so forth. And so somebody could very much so find this channel that's a future employer, if I ever want a future employer and I don't want to just be little entrepreneurial me, then, you know, I'm pretty screwed, because I'd be pretty screwed at that point, because I would definitely be somebody who presented myself as an eccentric radical thinker, even for academia. I mean, I know that most academics are out there, but there are some tropes and trends and ideas that are part of academia that I fundamentally disagree with. And I have things that I think and would say about academia. I've said some inflammatory things about educational systems in America in general in previous videos, but if I really said some of the things that I really think, I don't think I'd be employable anywhere. So that's one of the reasons that I hold off from those expressing those things. Also, too, because I don't think people really want to hear or know those things. I mean, like, oh, who the hell are you to come wrecking down my world and things like that? So yeah, so I guess I'm putting it out there. If you'd like for this channel to become a channel of dangerous ideas, and I don't mean in the sense that, it's the intellectual dark web or something like that. The intellectual dark web, not to be too arrogant, cannot get as dark as I am as an individual in terms of me being rather obscure and nobody caring about, what I say or what I do. If you think that Sam Harris or those people have ideas, or Jordan B. Peterson or whatever have ideas that people are like, oh my God, you shouldn't say that. God, you don't want to hear what I have to say. If you think what they say is dangerous and that they come with the philosophy of lightning, haven't heard what I have to say. I don't talk about those things though, just because I don't know if I actually want to be employed at some point in time in my life in any occupation that is involved with a lot of PR. So I don't think I'd like anything like that, but I mean, I like money at the same time too. So anyways, but if people say that they're down for the dangerous ideas, if they want to experience some of the lightning, then yeah, I'm all for it. But I still will censor those things too. Um, Dun, da, 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 da. What else do I have to say? There may be the potential for me to do mathematics on this channel, but I mean, I'm not gonna do your uh, typical mathematics. Mostly the math I tend to like to pay attention to is, or that I would try to make more accessible to people. Really, in my interest is competition mathematics. There are a few channels on YouTube like Oshman Nal and the art of problem solving and so on and so forth that already does this, but I don't know, man. Like, I've never written a solutions manual. This is basically what this comes down to. So I have a lot of these old Dover books and things like that that I go through. And I have a lot of competition mathematical literature that, I work through and so on and so forth because I love problem solving. It's just interesting and fun to me. But I have solutions and things that for those things that are fairly unique. And then there aren't solution manuals to many of these Dover books and various other books. And some that do come with solution manuals, those solution manuals aren't for free. Now, I'm not going to infringe on anybody's monetary prospects either. So there are certain books I'm going to stay away from, particularly the art of problem solving, because I'm not trying to get sued. But also, I don't know what else, but I mean, I think for the most part. So, anyways, yeah, for the most part, I would just like to basically create a solution manual, a digital solution manual, but that would turn into kind of a lecture format to some extent. But that's not anything I'm going to do immediately because I don't think most people are here for mathematics, though. You will see it soon, relatively soon, but not soonest of all things, that math is just going to start randomly popping up on this YouTube channel. And, if that frightens you, then, toughen up. But if you're interested, then there's something for you to see. Though most of the things that I'll be looking at won't go beyond, let's see. So the most technical it could get would be on manifolds. And if anybody knows what manifolds are, then that should give you an indication for how technical it can get. The least technical it's going to get is going to be counting combinatorics and geometry. And the most, like the middle level of technicality it can get to is mathematical statistics and like graph theory, number theory, a basic course on set theory, vector calculus, general problem solving, and partial differential equations and ordinary differential equations and so on and so forth. Complex analysis, but mostly the standpoint I'm going to be coming from is learning through problem solving or just solving a bunch of problems and explaining why I tend to take certain approaches to solving problems. Because I do things some pretty unique. I mean, like, not entirely, because everybody's got to learn from somebody, but I always have a different approach. At least that's been the case. And whenever I tutor people and whenever I've taught in a classroom setting and whenever I actually solve problems. I am one of those weird people that whenever I do a solution, I get a different answer from the solution manual that's actually better than the one sometimes, not always, but sometimes. Most good enough. It happens enough times for my solution to be better than the one that's in the solution manual for me to take note of this. So that's something I'm going to do, but we'll see how long it takes for that to get going. But it won't take very long because I need to fill this channel with content. And I mean, I have the idea that I'm just going to fill this channel with as much free content as I can manage or that satisfies me. And when I first came on to YouTube, I was making a lot of videos at any given time. And I think in my first year on YouTube, I probably produced 100 videos or something like that. I don't know how many videos I have now, but they're a lot. And I mean, I really only do this because it's something that entertains me to a certain extent. And so I mean, I need something because I'm on winter break, and so I need something to entertain myself again. I mean, I will be doing various projects like in the living world and not the virtual one on most occasions, but I'm thinking of staking the claim into the virtual landscape and starting up the engine again. So yeah, I'm back. I don't know what my next video is going to be on, just really because, I mean, if I'm eccentric and I do whatever I feel like doing at any particular moments. I don't know what I'm going to feel like making content about, but I certainly will. And it's also the case that I don't really know I just have a lot of ideas, and so I just will make the videos. People can comment on whether or not they like them or not, and we'll see what really manifests itself in the future. But you basically have me for a good 2 months. So I'm going to be on winter vacation for a good 2 months. So you're basically going to get just a lot of content within a 2 month period. If you have any requests, you put them in now, because once it starts going, it's just going to be going. So yeah, that's my video. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I can produce things that you find as equally entertaining as I do. So thank you for watching. Bye.